She forgave her father. She said the words. She meant them. She sat across from him in a small restaurant in Paris on a Wednesday afternoon and told him she was letting it go, that she understood now, as an adult, why he had done what he had done, that she didn't want to carry the anger anymore, that she wanted them to have a relationship before it was too late. He accepted the forgiveness graciously. He thanked her. He told her it meant everything. He ordered dessert. Quiet shift. 3 years later, she was back in therapy. The relationship hadn't healed. It had simply resumed. The same patterns, the same silences, the same slow erosion of her sense of self every time she spent time with him. And she said something that became the beginning of everything. I forgave him. I did everything right. Why do I still feel like this? Today, we're going to talk about forgiveness, not whether it's noble, not whether it makes you a better person, but something almost no one talks about, what forgiveness costs when it's given in the wrong conditions, and why sometimes forgiving too early is the most dangerous thing a person can do to themselves. This is the final video in this series, and it won't leave you comfortable, but it will leave you with something true. Her name is Sophie. She grew up in Lyon with a father who was brilliant, charismatic, and completely unpredictable. Not violent, not obviously absent, but the kind of man who could make you feel like everything and then nothing in the same day. The kind of love that made you try harder and harder and harder. She spent her childhood managing him, her adolescence performing for him, her 20s trying to understand him, reading psychology, going to therapy, building meaning out of something that didn't feel safe. And at 34, she thought she had reached the end of the journey. She understood him. She had compassion for him. So she forgave him. But what she didn't understand was the difference between understanding and safety, between forgiving someone and being safe with them, between letting go and going back. Dark psychology makes a distinction most people never learn: internal forgiveness and relational forgiveness. Internal forgiveness is something you do for yourself. You release the resentment. You stop carrying the weight. It requires nothing from them. It sets you free. Relational forgiveness is different. It means reopening the door, letting them back in, giving access again. And here is the truth. If they haven't changed, you don't get a new relationship, you get the old one again. Sophie forgave her father, and he received it like something he was always going to receive. He didn't change, and slowly, nothing changed. Until one day, she understood something that changed everything. Forgiveness is not the same as trust. You can forgive someone completely and still not allow them close. You can let go of the anger and still choose distance. And when she finally chose that, not dramatically, not loudly, just quietly, internally, something shifted. The calls became fewer. The visits became shorter, and for the first time, the relationship became honest. Not perfect, not healed, just real. And inside that truth, she found something unexpected. She could finally love him, not from pressure, not from fear, but from clarity, from a distance that was safe. Here is the truth of this entire series. Forgiveness is not the destination. It's only one part of a much larger process. If you give it too early, you don't heal the wound, you cover it, and what's underneath stays exactly the same. Sophie is 43 now. She visits her father 4 times a year. The visits aren't perfect, but they're honest, and she said something that matters more than anything else. Forgiveness isn't something you give to them, it's something you give to yourself. And the moment I understood that, I stopped waiting for him to deserve it. And I stopped expecting it to fix us. It was never going to fix us. It was only going to free me. And it did, just not in the way she expected.